Five.
Woo! Hello.
Yeah. Okay, we actually have a full group.
You guys can't see me, but I'm dancing.
Let's fucking go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Swinging Swordsman production of Fury of the Outlands.
You gotta
The
say
campaign.
right. Hello there. Sorry.
Shut up. No.
Okay.
Welcome back to Fury of the Outlands, the campaign where once every blue moon we actually get the entire fucking cast. To be fair with Lou, it's partly my fault because I keep forgetting time zones exist and his is immensely off. I am sorry.
Australia.
But moving on from my own faults, I'm your humble dungeon master, Dan. I am a theater freak and a TTRPG geek, and this is episode 31. Okay, I'm placing bets now. How many of you think this is going to hit 60?
60 what?
Honestly, it's
Sessions.
taking us this long to get to 30.
How many are we on?
We're on 31 right now.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
I think, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Like our campaigns are just slowly getting longer and longer. But also part of this is because to be fair, there's been like at the very least a whole month to month and a half where we did no sessions whatsoever. So
Yeah.
The draw.
I left everybody fucking
Yeah.
go.
How long ago did you guys start this campaign?
January of last year.
Oh yeah,
damn.
okay. That's normal. I had a campaign that
Has
lasted
it
2 years.
really?
Give or take, yeah.
Been a bit.
Karst was there too.
It's actually been a year?
It's been a little over.
Oh my gosh.
This might be
4 months.
this might be the campaign that actually hits a 2-year mark for us.
Damn.
We gotta make it happen now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into the long ass recap, because
a year?
a little over, yeah.
Damn. Time flies.
No shit. Before we get into the recap, usual announcements. If you want to know what our lives are like outside of the campaign, but not necessarily outside of D&D, go over to the Spotify podcast Guys. It is still heavily outdated, but it's there.
We're gonna shoot a new episode soon, hopefully.
You said that 2 weeks ago.
You said that last
Like
episode.
3 months ago.
Soon TM.
Carlo, I can't see you. I want to see you.
Okay. Oh, I didn't-
Yeah, no, we all are doing this over Discord, and we don't show our faces on the stream because we're all shy.
No, you're not. Only Rose. Only Roz and Lou are shy. Everyone else has shown their face. Almost
Shown my
whenever I
face.
see
Hey.
people-
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've literally sent
I've
photos
seen that
of myself before.
So,
I just don't
I've never
stream.
seen
camera
those.
isn't on ever.
Yeah, because my camera's not plugged in, nor do I really feel like doing it because I'm running other things on my PC at the same time.
Oh yeah, that takes a lot.
Not gonna lie.
I didn't know anybody here had seen your face before.
Oh, yeah, no, I did it for like a Halloween thing.
Yeah, no, I was about to say when
yeah.
we did Christmas by Candlelight, I think, or it was either that one or the Edgar Allan Poe episode.
I think it was the Edgar Allan Poe one.
Yeah.
Remember we have
Yeah.
the costume contest.
Oh yeah.
And I won.
I remember the year you were like takeout food or something. There was a lot of tinfoil involved.
That's brilliant.
Who did that?
Angel?
Who did that? Angel? Did Angel do
Who
that?
did that, Angel? Angel, who did that?
Yeah. I was the unfortunate
I missed this.
partaker in
I
that.
I honestly missed this chaos.
Yeah.
It's gonna get it, but anyway, moving on. We still have other announcements. If you want to listen to some music, our buddy Wyra, I'm pointing to her screen, but you guys can't see. She has music on. She has a couple of songs out on all of the music channels, Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music. If you're a cheap bastard like me, don't even touch Spotify when it comes to music. Just use YouTube. Way easier.
Mom's juice so you can drink it? Sure.
Oh
Mom's asking me if I want to have juice.
no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
WAYRA underscore
She's got it.
AYELEN. Wyra Ayelen.
You know, one of these days I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that last part.
I'm pretty sure
No,
you said
seriously,
that
that's
last time.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to keep saying it until I actually remember it, because for some reason that last bit always goes over my fucking head. If you want to see some art stuff, our buddy Angel does art on various internets.
Yeah. I have a video coming out on the 25th. Y'all should go see it. Everybody should go see it in the world.
All right.
Ooh.
And
Wait,
then
you're not talking about your return video, are you?
Oh no, there's another full on. That's where I announce.
Okay. Cool.
all right. And also for the non-existent fans that may give a shit, we've been convincing. Three of us have been trying to convince Carlo to get Final Fantasy XIV, and I've been convincing everyone that we need to do.
Damn, that thing
Yeah,
must be
there's-
successful.
Oh my god!
It's 40 years old.
Bro,
That whole-
I'm
that
not
whole
a
franchise.
It is
fan.
not. It is
How am I
not
supposed to know? I
the
don't even
okay. The
play
franchise
games.
itself, yes. Okay. So yeah, like 3.5 of us, like 3 to 3.5 of us here, play Final Fantasy XIV, and we've been annoying the shit out of Carlo to try and at the very least get it. If you want to see us play it and be a bunch of adorable little short people terrorizing Eorzea, please let us know, and I will make it happen, because Angel's gonna be stuck with us.
Short who?
Look at what I've created, you guys. Look at what I've made. I made.
You're not. You're not. No.
No, okay.
Sorry.
Someone send Wyra a picture of a Lalafell
I got
to
it.
show her what I'm talking about.
I just gotta say, the first time I saw these guys was when I was first making my character, and I was like, "Oh, it's a short person, so they look like halflings or something." And then I
You were
saw,
talking about yourselves, and I was like, "There's only like 2 short people in this group, maybe."
no,
I know, but we have the energy of gremlins is the problem.
when I saw this group of people for the first time, my reaction was so verbal. I couldn't. It was such an outward.
They are
reaction.
they are
They are
adorable.
the most adorable thing I've ever seen, and I'll send it to the general chat for you
Yeah,
to see.
just everyone admire how fucking adorable Lalafells look. They're adorable.
They look evil.
They look evil.
They can be.
They have the
can be.
capacity for evil.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they
agree. I don't
do.
trust
They
a lot of
do.
it.
I don't trust short
They
things.
do. They no. There are Lalafells that are just complete dicks. Angel knows what I'm talking about.
Actually,
Roz might.
there was
if she
one-
remembers.
there
I
was
don't
one
think I
Lalafell I remember meeting when we were first playing. That I definitely didn't like. He was such an ass.
Yeah,
He was such
the
a
traitor.
pompous ass. Yeah, that guy. He was such a pompous asshole.
There's more of those. There's more of those. At the very least, I can think of maybe 2.5 to 3, and that's not a short joke. Yeah. So if you want us to all just be a bunch of, if you all want us to play Final Fantasy XIV and just be a bunch of Lalafells, let us know. I will make it happen if it's the last thing I do. Carlo, get the free trial, you cheap bastard. No.
I wanna do it anyways.
No, I'm just or alternatively, we could just do a Lalafell squad D&D one shot, and I am going to regret it.
Nah.
But if we do, Angel has to do the artwork for every character. Sorry,
Bro,
not
one
sorry.
is absolutely evil.
Oh no.
Okay, I dare someone to be a Lalafell for the next Final Fantasy campaign after Outlands, and it's
Oh my
not gonna
God.
be me. It's not gonna
Not
be
it.
me. Not it. I already have my character. I already have my
Maybe
character.
they've gone
and
extinct.
you really want Lalafell to go extinct.
Oh.
No, they're not
With
extinct.
how I was about to say, with how adorable they are, they're never going extinct. Nobody wants to extinct them.
I'm gonna be honest,
Okay.
they just look creepy to me.
They
There's
look
absolutely
creepy?
no adorableness in it. In my eyes.
I honestly agree. I'm not too sure about
Ew.
Okay. All right, let's get started.
Yeah, let's. Okay, we can talk more about this on another time. So let us finally dive into what the fuck happened. So our group of adventurers, after facing a variety of bullshit involving the Lions of the Sands and their leader, Ava Zandiri, uncle to Arakion, the party decided to finally pool in resources to try and help Yuri in discovering the sort of truth and hopefully resolvement in the Volkanov family curse, a situation within the patriarch of the Volkanov line where basically the heads of the house seem to always fuck off and vanish without really saying much. The party made their way to the Temple of the Sands, the headquarters of the Sisters of the Flame. Eventually also picking up a new ally in the White Dragonborn known as Frost, who was just kind of dropped off with them by the leader of oh god, what the see, it's been so long since the coalition, the leader of the coalition, Onyx the Blood Knight, who he just basically looked at the party and was like, hey, I'm gonna drop this Dragonborn off with you, he's your new friend now.
Thanks, Onyx.
So it worked out because this Dragonborn's also the party cleric, which is way more useful than I gave it credit for. New ally in tow, the party once again went to the Sisters of the Flame to gather what information they could, and then eventually discovered that one of the best ways to try and get the answers that Yuri seeked was through a location known as the Maze of Embers. This particular location itself wasn't necessarily completely in the material plane, but existed within sort of a overlap dimension sort, acting as a overlapping bridge between the material plane and the elemental plane of fire, which is the domain of the primordial goddess of that particular element. At first, Yuri had to face off against the Guardian of Embers, a Goliath who was guarding the gates to the Maze of Embers. And the party then made their way through, discovering that the maze itself is a almost ever-shifting labyrinth of stone and ash. Throughout their travels, the party came through several different trials, one of which was an encounter with members of Volkanov's past, in which members of the party got to experience the memories of other members of the Volkanov line, Yuri being the one to experience his father's. The second trial was one of figuring out, or not necessarily figuring out, but of not letting one's guilt of certain situations overcome them. In which case, Arakion basically gave no shits whatsoever and walked out pretty much unscathed. Frost was smart enough to use the blessings of his own divine patron to aid him in this situation and had no encounter whatsoever for some reason. However, Yuri struggled in this instance as the visions of his own guilt were those manifested not only of his father, but of a older, aged manifestation of his son. This led Yuri to fail the test and was then therefore marked by whatever bullshit magics created this damn maze to begin with. The party, after encountering several other enemies and whatnot, eventually came into contact with another member of the Volkanov line known as Malachi Volkanov, a ancestor of Yuri's who existed almost 300 years before the current era. They traded some information back and forth. Malachi revealed that not only revealed some aspects of history, part of which being that he knew members of Arakion's ancestry, and also that he encountered Yuri's father Dmitri here within the maze before, and he seemed, well, for one, alive and determined as ever to get through the maze as much as possible. During this whole adventure as well, everyone's favorite kobold, Bigby, ended up having an encounter with a mysterious silhouetted dragon who explained that within Bigby lied a well of arcane power tied to his bloodline, and asked Bigby if he wished it to be unlocked. Bigby said yes, and then discovered that for some reason he now has magic and a lot more kind of prominent green scales than he did before. But that is something we can address at another time because, well, too much shit's already going on. And it's just fun to start things already. Throughout this last bit of the adventure up until this current point, the party encountered a third trial, one of which led them to what seemed to be some sort of chapel dedicated to the primordial goddess of fire, Rhea. In this instance, they encountered a withered, almost lich-like genasi clad in armor, who identified himself as Lord Constantine Volkanov.
Big sword dude.
And after asking about the party's faith and in his descendants' faith, and finding out that it wasn't actually towards the goddess Rhea, Lord Constantine deemed his descendants heretics and sentenced them to judgment by his blade, in which a fight ensued within the chapel. Everyone almost died, and that was my fault. But with Yuri unconscious on the ground, Frost somehow banished to somewhere that no one knows where at this point. Arakion was able to land the killing blow and fired his Eldritch Cannon at the Lich-like paladin, and in that exhausting effort managed to defeat him. And that is where we are now.
They never
So-
hit me, by the way.
That is not true.
They
That
never
is so-
hit me.
You were
No,
hit
no,
at
no, no.
least 5 times.
They never laid a hand on me.
You can look at your stat block right now.
No. Everything resets after
Oh,
you
yeah, level up.
including health. So at this point, you watch as Constantine is at this point on the ground, kneeling in defeat. His sword and shield sort of laying at his side. Yuri, you watch as at one point you felt as if you were basically going to fucking black out. And what feels like maybe a little bit later, you then feel a sense of recovery to the point where you open your eyes. You are indeed on the floor, but you are alive. And maybe a few seconds after you sit up, taking in your surroundings, you see in a burst of, for lack of better words, necrotic flame, you all see Frost standing exactly where he was when he was banished.
I'm going to brandish my mace and my shield and look around, see the situation has calmed. I'm going to put my weapons away, and I mean, I know mechanically we've all healed from the level up, but do we all still kind of look messed up?
Yes, no.
Okay.
For thematic reasons, you all are still battered and beaten
Cool. So
and very exhausted.
I'm going to pull out my healer's kit and get to work on Yuri, as he was the one who went down.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to grab it's basically this big medical bag on it with the twirling serpent around the blade symbol upon it. What is that logo called? Regardless,
Not Medusa's.
no. But so I'm gonna go over to Yuri, open it up, and I'm gonna pull out a bunch of medical equipment, including bandages, gauze, what's the word? Antibiotics,
Yeah.
etc. Whatever I need for the situation. Stitches for cuts, stuff like that. And as I work on Yuri, like, you'll see flashes of light as I use bits of divine magic on his wounds as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like focused immediately.
Now, as for the other half of the group that was unfortunately not here, Crystalina, Bigby, and Icarus. Oh, and Nugget, the spell tech horse, because he's still with you.
He's important.
Oh no, he's important. He is important.
He's my character.
He is important to Icarus, and he is important to me, and I will not explain further.
Okay.
Crystalina, Bigby, and Icarus. For some fucking reason, the door closed on you guys as soon as the others went in, and you feel kind of insulted.
Yeah.
But after what feels like, I mean, for just
Do we
sitting around,
hear anything happening, or are we just like, what the fuck happened the whole time and have no idea?
I'm gonna say you can hear muffles. You could hear muffles, like you could hear like muffled conversations and whatnot. And then next thing you know, you hear the
yelling
sounds,
and all that.
the yelling, the clanging of metal, arcane fuckery firing off. And then after maybe half an hour, ooh,
That is.
I just finished this. It's for a friend's birthday.
Oh, nice.
It was supposed
It's
to be
so
a
pretty.
bracelet, but it was too short, so I turned it into a keychain. Anyway.
Anyway, for what basically ends up being, I don't know, I'm going to say like maybe half an hour game time, the door eventually opens. And you look around, and it is a complete fucking mess. You see, out of everyone, it looks like Frost is the only one that is the least injured. And he is going around back and forth between Arakion, Malachi, and Yuri, just kind of doing.
I'm gonna
medic stuff.
I'm gonna look over.
And you see.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
And you see this.
Did you freeze?
I think he's frozen.
Oh yeah, he's frozen.
Badass hair for some fucking reason.
Okay.
In armor. Sort of on the ground.
Daniel, you oh, he's frozen again.
Oh,
Who's got?
Okay.
well, shit.
Okay, I will clarify. He is not dead, but he
Hey,
is
Dan.
defeated.
Dan,
What?
you were frozen.
Yeah,
You
you
cut it all
froze
out, Daniel.
twice. You missed a ton of stuff from like
All we heard about
the
was he
moment
was
they
really
walked
cool
in.
hair.
Badass.
Yeah.
Wait, seriously, it was badass hair, and then I froze.
Yeah, and
You
then you
froze,
came back and then you
said
froze.
badass hair, and then
Yeah, I
froze
didn't
again.
hear much before badass hair. From him. Yeah.
Okay. So, Frost is doing combat medic shit. Everyone else is looking fucking defeated. And then you also see, kind of in the middle of the room, this withered Genasi with, like I said, badass hair, because he has badass hair, because I made it that way. Liches don't have to be bald. Oh god, a lich? Like, imagine... Okay, this is gonna be off topic for a sec, but imagine fighting a lich with basically He-Man hair.
Oh god,
My
like,
lord.
like dead Fabio.
Yeah. He-lich. No.
Huh, okay.
Okay,
Wow.
moving on. Yeah, you see this sort of... you see this, like, undead Genasi warrior kneeling, kneeling with both legs on the ground, slumped over. Still, like, not completely dead and whatnot, which, Arakion, you're looking at this and it's like, motherfucker, I shot you multiple times.
I just walk over and I push him over. Or like as I'm walking between the two, I just kind of shove him to the side, like, get out of the way.
Yeah, give me a net though. No, I'm not gonna make you roll for this.
I was joking. I don't actually.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't want to touch him right now. He's a lich. That's bad. That's bad juju.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Crystalina, Big B, and Icarus, you all just kind of walk in, slightly offended, and just kind of looking around at all the chaos that kind of ensued. Yeah, also there are various puddles of ash that are just kind of like scattered throughout the chapel as well.
He's there. You are. There you all are. Way to come in at the right time.
As they're walking in, and I'm working on Malachi, I'm gonna look over at one of you and just gesture like, "Someone come here and put pressure on this wound."
Bigby immediately goes over to help.
Yeah, Malachi's just kind of sitting there. It's like, it's
I-
no worries. I'm fine. I'm fine. It ain't that big a deal.
Yeah, sure. This big gaping hole in your chest is no big deal. Yes, it's a deal when I say it is. Now sit down and shut up.
You know what? Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Alright. Roll to heal with intimidation.
Roll for aggressive healing.
Alright, so advantage.
Okay.
That's 11.
Alright.
Not
Well,
the best.
either way, not the best, but either way, Malachi just kind of shuts up. You continue to patch him up. You all watch as this warrior lich, with what looks to be even more strain than what you'd seen him kind of use when you guys were fighting him, lifts up his head, just kind of looks around to all of you. More so to the people that he actually just fought, but generally to all of you. And kind of leaning more over to Yuri, he kind of just openly says, "How is it that someone with as little faith in the divine as you can hold such power as you all have shown?" Bingo.
Yuri looks and goes, "It's not faith. This comes from, like, experience. And I'm sure you have plenty of it. But I think that everyone's time comes, and I think yours has come, my friend. So
I suppose it has. You all have passed this test, at least, and along with the exits to continue your way through this maze, I will offer all of you one question each to ask, to which I must answer.
Oh, no fucking wonder. Oh my god. I'm sorry to interrupt, but bro, I had the Twitch open for some reason. I was like, why am I hearing everything twice?
No.
I hope it wasn't recording on your guys' end.
I got
No, we couldn't
occasional
hear anything
delayed.
twice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard like an occasional delayed blurb, but nothing like overly damaging at the very least.
Okay.
But yeah, you all get to ask Lord Konstantin Volkanov one question each. Who wants to go first?
may I?
No.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I think Yuri is not sure if Constantine knows his father or not. So I think Yuri takes a chance. And oh fuck, he's torn between two. I think Yuri.
I can ask your second option if you want.
Okay. I think.
Yeah, no, he just simply said that everyone gets one question each. He doesn't say.
Okay.
He didn't say exactly to specify what the questions had to be.
My other question is then, why serve a goddess that you know causes pain and suffering? But the main question is, yeah, I think Yuri asks, do you know the whereabouts of my father, Dimitri?
Constantine closes his eyes and sort of takes a deep breath, and as he does, for one, it's a wheezing deep breath, which sounds very fucking creepy, but as he does, you can see sort of the embers across his body kind of glow a little bit brighter as he does. He opens his eyes, looks to you, and goes, I will admit that I have never had the pleasure of meeting your father, but I do know of his whereabouts within this maze. He lies deep within, close to the heart, struggling to continue a trial in which he has been uncertain of whether or not it is the right one for him. And he is not alone in that. One other shares his journey and shares his friendship.
Anybody else want to ask the dude a question?
Aren't I looking for something? Isn't Icarus looking for something? Some tower or something? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, there were a few things about Icarus's thing that did come into, that did kind of pop up, like, during the whole Lines of the Sands thing, but you just kind of ignored it because anything involving the gods is bullshit.
I didn't ignore it. I wasn't there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll have to find that actual episode because
Wasn't I looking for a black tower though? Isn't that my thing?
Well, you can ask the guy.
No, I'm asking. No, I'm asking the DM because I don't remember if it was or not.
you were told by, like, someone with divination powers that something involving a black tower does kind of come up into your future, along with the idea of taking two different paths to sort of gain what you want. One more towards the path of vengeance, and the other being more towards the path of mercy. But the guy did mention a black tower.
Okay. What question can I put around that?
Where the black tower?
Man, this is tougher than I thought it would be.
Try doing it
just
once
ask.
every session.
Yeah, no, I will say also keep in mind that this guy used to be a paladin of Rhea, who is a goddess of fire, so some religious things may not necessarily correlate.
Yeah, but if there's like he's like, if you ask about a black tower, he's like, yeah, there's one around the corner. You can go check it out.
Turns out it's just like some old ass abandoned tower that Fiona from Shrek was locked in or something. It's like, oh, this isn't the one at all.
And it's also, it's not, if it has something to do with the two gods of which are pertinent to Icarus' story. It's not like they're unknown gods. They're like they're like two of the gods. Like the.
I mean, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, you can try and ask if you want.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping you.
He'll probably like to be like, do you know of like any towers that are connected to my mother's name again? I just know her as bitch. I forget her name. What's the goddess's name again?
Which one? The one that's giving you bullshit, or the one that's giving Yuri bullshit?
No, me bullshit.
Oh, Bryneth.
Brenneth. Yeah, he's gonna ask, do you know of any like black towers that are like associated with bitchness?
I'm actually gonna roll something here.
Oh shit.
Nothing bad. It's not like y'all have to roll for initiative again.
Oh, please. Let me test.
In order for me to answer that question, you must fight me once more. Okay,
No.
flick. Flicks him in the forehead, he just dies. Are we done? Ah, shit, he's dead. Now we can't answer the question.
Yeah. You watch as Constantine kind of thinks for a minute. And instead of like that weird wheezing breathing thing he did when asking Yuri, he's like he's actually thinking here. He looks to you and goes, the one main tower that I can think of in association with the goddess Bryneth would be the one in which she calls her home, that lies within the realm of shadows.
Don't run.
Icarus just groans.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you hear that, you're like, you're just like, shit.
It's like,
I'm like looking around like, what
no.
is this connection to this god?
Does he actually ask that?
No, I'm asking you that, like, because I don't know your relationship with this god.
I can't remember how much has been revealed of Icarus.
Not that much, because
They know he's an Asma.
yeah, they know he's a fallen Asmar.
Asmir.
Yeah,
Asmir. Asmir.
yeah, they know that they know that he's an Asmar and not a tiefling. You did reveal that you were brothers with the first Reaper, but
Yeah, homeboy.
but I mean you didn't reveal that to Frost because he's like kind of new and you're not entirely
Frost
sure.
knows
Who did I reveal it to?
bollocks about you.
Who did I reveal it to? I can't remember.
You revealed you kind of revealed it to you did reveal like
Wasn't it
the
the whole
general
party?
idea. Yeah, pretty much the whole party knows that you're brothers. Yeah, the whole party knows that you're brothers with the first Reaper. Except for Frost.
And then, yeah, you have to ask him. I don't reveal anything unless it's through.
Yeah, no, and I haven't roleplayed anything in your stead because last time I tried to do an Australian accent, you gave me shit for it. So
Yeah, please never do it again. That actually hurt me when you did that. I've experienced physical pain that day.
Hey, at least I wasn't doing it to try and mock the accent. I was doing it because I wanted to.
You were trying, just it was not good.
No, okay, fine. So yeah,
so
no,
that's
pretty
the
much.
question.
Don't do Australian accents. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, no. All right. So that's Icarus and Yuri with their questions. Who wants to go next?
think, aren't I the last one?
No, I still have to go
It's
too.
yeah, no, it's
I still
You guys
need
can
to.
help
Frost,
with my
Crystalline.
question because I wasn't here for so long. I have no idea what I even need to know.
Just ask him for a recap of your memories.
There's a dead guy who
And
wants to
some
give us
Or are
questions
we
to
talking to
answer.
the guy we just fought?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
watch. This is basically a retelling of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much dead guy who
No.
wants to give us the opportunity to ask questions.
Oh god, this is a retelling of Kingdom Hearts now. That's terrifying. Somebody ask a question, please.
Oh, shit.
I can go ahead with Carlos' backup question.
Thank you. The goat.
Alright,
Okay, so
shoot.
I believe it was why follow a goddess that brings so much suffering, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as this guy kind of looks to you, and because of the fact he's on his knees, it's kind of like directly level eye contact with you, which you don't know if that's better or worse. But he looks to you. You can tell he's like slightly pissed off at the question, but a deal's a deal. So he, yeah, he looks and goes, she's not always been a vengeful goddess. True fire is one of destruction and rays. But we are also taught that fire is also a power of hearth, of warmth, of union. And in the early days of her worship as a deity, she embodied these aspects more so than she has before that time. The trials within this Maze of Embers were never meant to be rendered to such extremes. But I will admit that part of that was more my fault than the goddesses. But you must also keep in mind that, just like with anyone, time can change a deity just like time can change a person.
Give or take a few thousand years.
Give or take a few thousand years.
I have my question.
Go.
So he's gonna walk up and he's gonna say, "All right, well then, if time is the issue, here's my question: how do we leave this maze successfully without dying, unlike the others? Yuri needs to be back with his family. He needs to see his family again."
Best way to leave this place would be to continue the trials set in Rhea's name. However, that being said, you are reaching closer to that goal than you were before you stepped into this chapel.
Well, usually that's how progression works. As you progress, you get further away from the beginning.
You really like to act like a smartass, don't you?
Well, one might even say that I am. I believe
It will not be it will not be long before you will face the final trials ahead, in which if you succeed, you'll be returned to the point in time in which you had entered the maze. Give or take, maybe a week or so. It's not exactly an exact. It's never quite exact on the dilation between time here and time within the material plane.
Relative to everyone else, how long have you been in here?
I believe that is a second question, but I will still answer it. I have probably been the Volkanov that has been here the longest. I was the one who decreed a human girl to undertake the trials in efforts to seek forgiveness from the goddess Rhea, and in doing so was the one to have possibly set this calamity against my family line. And because of this, the goddess issued that in order to seek a form of redemption, I must be the one to truly judge whether or not a person, or in this case a group, is worthy enough and strong enough to continue along through the maze.
Yet that did not answer my question at all.
A very long time, Dragonblood. Does that help?
The sass. Just, I could just picture Rakion going, "Hey, now remember who shot you just now? Watch the attitude, punk.
You do again, bitch.
Let's go again. Me and you.
Yeah, no,
Nothing else.
you just watch as this sort of black-haired Genasi Fabio Lich is
Oh my fucking
like
God.
slowly getting annoyed with you, Arakion, more so than the rest of the party.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
fact that he
hilarious.
the fact that he keeps calling you Dragon Blood is not helpful. Like it's not an insult, but but it is fairly rude.
Is it a slur?
It's it's on the low. It's on like the low levels of slurs because to be fair, in Dragonkin culture, the term Drak Henri was more of a slur than being called Dragon Blood because the fact that it started because of the idea that because of the idea of diluting the blood of dragons to that particular point was seen as almost a disgrace. And then, you know what, they just decided to accept it and it was like, hey, we're not Dragonborn, we're Drak Henri now. Fuck you.
Oh my God, it sounds familiar. You know what? I'm
But
not even
yeah,
gonna
but Dragon Blood is, for lack of better words, it's kind of seen more as the common translation to Drak Henri, albeit very loosely. And considering the fact that this guy is very, very old, he might be trying to say it as more of a slur, but you don't really care.
Okay. Well, he's gonna retort with what he said. He's gonna say, "Well, I don't think a really long time is very quantifiable."
Just asking for it.
Hello.
As I said, I was the first of the Volkanovs to have basically been kept here in the maze and entail this entire catastrophe upon our family line. Albeit I do not know exactly how long because I don't know at what time period you come from.
You should have just said that at first. Now, I'm done asking questions. Anyone else?
The silence. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. The min maxer in me wants to ask about magic items, but I don't really know. I don't think Frost would ask that question.
Probably not. He's a holy person, for crying out loud.
It's not
Not
that.
a rogue.
It's not. He's not. It's not about his holiness. He's actually like in that regard on the lower end of holy folk. He just uses his faith. I mean, he does believe in his faith, but it's a means to an end. If he didn't have said faith, he would still be a medic, just without magic. So it's like it's the pragmatism about himself, and like it's just like it's not important right now. I've got patients to deal with.
A pragmatic priest. Who ever thought that would exist?
He's not a priest. He's a combat medic. There's a difference.
Clerics are basically priests, but you know what? That's
Cleric is
we're
the name
not-
we call his class.
we're
Anyways.
gonna have this We're gonna have this conversation another time, buddy.
Yes.
You're like one of those old time Civil War medics, except in
Kinda, yeah.
fancy.
Yeah, exactly. Frost is going to turn to him and he's gonna ask him how do I ask this question? He's gonna ask fuck. I just had it, now it's gone. Is there anyone else who has a question? Or am I the
I
last
think
one?
the Crystalina hasn't asked a question.
So,
But to be fair, you don't have to if you don't know what to ask. I am not like
but I feel like she would have a question. Or try to. I just don't know what the fuck to ask because I haven't been here for so long.
yeah.
Yeah, any gold? Just kidding.
So I turn to the rest. Hey, guys, any of you have an important question you really wanted to ask, but you already used your first one? I'll use it for you.
Ooh, if nobody else will, can I take this one?
Of course you do.
I mean, whether or not he's actually going to answer you, Arakion, I'm not entirely sure. You kind of pissed him off a couple of times.
He looks at you and he says, "Pass."
I'm not gonna be one.
Tell it to
I'm
me.
not gonna be the one answering it. I'm gonna give it to Crystalina.
Oh shit!
Loopholes.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so he's
You
gonna
wanna ask
quickly. So even like in the most, I guess, Tom and Jerry
Wow.
fucking thing ever, he sort of
Here we go
speeds
again.
off towards Crystalina, and he's gonna whisper this into her ear. Where do you keep your treasure?
Aha.
You sure that's what you want to ask?
Unless someone thinks that I should use the question wisely. If anybody else has anything like important that they need to ask, like
I'm
you know,
nowhere near.
If-
I might have an important question. Hold on.
okay.
Okay. Icarus is gonna come over to the little meat and be like, "Wait, hold on. Actually, just in case, maybe we should slight ask how we get into like, it's called the Shadowfell in this world, right?
I did not understand that.
The thing where the tower is, it's the Shadowfell, right?
The
Shadowfell.
realm. Yeah.
I think
So
so.
how
Okay,
to
yeah,
get
he'd be
into
like-
the Shadowfell?
Maybe we should like ask him just in case, like if he knows how to get in there, because I know how to get me in there, but I don't know
I'm
how to
back.
get you in there.
Okay. You two figure that out. I say this as Crystalina Star, and then tell me what the fuck to ask.
Okay,
Hmm.
are you?
I mean, it could be it could be a good thing to
Hello.
ask.
So treasure or my thing?
Yeah, no, it could be a good, pretty cool thing to ask, because then that means that we can have more an advantage if we ever go there.
Exactly, and we can always just find more treasure. So
Yeah.
do
Although,
you
yeah, no,
know?
I wasn't worried about the treasure. I was just gonna use that as like an excuse if anybody else didn't have anything important,
Okay.
like a backpack or something.
Yeah, he's gonna go over to Crystalina and be like, "Okay, ask if he knows a way into the Shadowfell."
Okay. So I go up to this guy and I say,
Pleb.
I have my
This guy.
question. I'm ready to ask. Do you know of a way? No, wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you get into the Shadowfell?
I'm
I'm just
waiting.
gonna ask that in case the asshole's like, yes, I do. Well, what is it?
Oh, that's a lot.
Clever.
He's a paladin. He's a paladin. He's not a fae, for fuck's sake.
One of
Okay.
us tells the truth.
Well, then let me just say I don't.
Yeah, but
Then,
yeah, but Arakion pissed him off. So
Yeah, no, that's fair, but that's a Rakion.
anyway, answer the question.
And all right. Okay. Well, one, I apologize for fucking accidentally dipping out. My service decided to be bullshit.
Oh, we didn't even notice.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Oh
no, we
shit!
did
Really?
Yeah, you were.
No, we were yapping.
No, fair. Well, it worked in my benefit anyway, and for some reason my Discord isn't even loading my fucking. It's not loading you guys up. I'm just seeing the fucking thing just spin round, just spin round and round. Anyway, so you asked this question, and Constantine looks to you, kind of tilting his head almost in curiosity. And he goes, I will admit that is a very curious question that I was not entirely expecting.
Surprise, answer
But
it.
I may be an oathbreaker, but I am a paladin of my word, and I will answer.
That's an oxy. Never mind. Carry on.
There have, at the very least in my time, been various rumored ways of getting into Shadowfell. One of which is being basically on the brink of death, but I feel like you may not necessarily want to go that route.
No.
The only other ways that I can think of people successfully going through the Shadowfell is being within an escort of one of Bryneth's ambassadors, or quite possibly by a Reaper, without the dying part.
Oh, okay, so easy. Easy peasy. Can do.
I'll admit this may not entirely be my business, but may I ask, why is it that you all are curious of the Shadowfell? Or in this particular case, you're just kind of looks at you and goes, Tiefling friend?
Not tiefling. I'm just missing my wings.
You just see he looks kind of confused at first, and then he finally gets it and goes, I see. My apologies then.
No problem.
Not a tiefling.
Not a tiefling.
I bet you get that whole estimate a lot. You know,
Oh
with
yes.
anyway. If you're
I don't.
friends with a Reaper, then they may, and you may be able to convince them to escort you into the Shadowfell.
More than friends. I can. Don't worry about it. I can get. It's good. We're good.
Very well.
But
And
thanks for your help.
with that, you watch as the wall sort of behind him and across from you opens up into the threshold of a door frame. And as it does, he does begin to stand. Not menacingly, he's just standing up. But with the amount of creaks and pops that are coming from his lich ass bones, you might as well think it's an attack.
Frost smash his skull open. No, I'm just kidding.
He's gonna grab his gun in just preparation.
You see,
Smoke again?
you see, he holds his hands up, and the sword and shield are on the floor at this point. As he goes, there is one last thing I would at the very least like to bestow upon my descendant if you will not try and shoot me again.
He puts it back, but still looks at him.
You all watch as Constantine goes over to one of the piles of ash and reaches his hand out. And as he does, you see that various sort of markings along his arm start to kind of glow brighter and brighter. These markings in particular look a lot like the ones that you see on Malachi and part of Yuri's left arm and whatnot. And you watch as the ash begins to kind of swirl around in this sort of spot where it's at and kind of billow up a little bit. And after what looks to be a few sort of seconds, or not a few seconds, but after a few good bit or so, it begins to dissipate and you see a armor stand in its place. Not an ash husk. Surprise!
Yeah.
On the stand, you see a set of armor that is sort of giving off a bit of a warm, sort of ember-like glow. Various Ignan runes sort of scatter across it and across the plate and whatnot. And you see he picks up the chest piece from it with no fucking issue whatsoever. Looks to you, Yuri, and goes, Yuri Volkanov, descendant of Ignis Vul. Because of what I've seen here today and because of your success within these trials, I bestow upon you the Ember Knight armor, a heirloom of sorts, if you will. May you wear it at the very least, if not for the name of Rhea, as you are in all definitions a heretic, but I am willing to forgive, or at the very least forget at this point. But wear it to honor those of the Volkanov line that have stood before you and that have worn this plate before you. And know that your light, even in the darkest of places, will always show the way to hearth and home.
Thank you.
You reach out to this chest plate, and as you do, you feel, for lack of better words, sparks begin to fly from contact. Wisps of fire begin to sprout from the plate and begin to sort of swirl around you and the plate itself. Everyone, you all just sort of back up a little bit in sort of surprise, and you watch as if some sort of sentient movement or whatnot, the plate begins to latch itself onto Yuri's body. And eventually the fire begins to die down, and you see Yuri in this half-plated armor. And it's actually a fairly good look on him.
Dilf.
Well,
Congratulations, Yuri. You finally get a piece of armor for once.
am I proficient? Question mark?
Let's see, it is a medium armor, so I do believe so. It's only heavy armor that negates your. It's only heavy armor that negates your rage.
Okay. Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can equip that. Have fun reading that.
Okay.
And as soon as this plate has kind of equipped itself onto you, you see that Constantine begins to crumble in ash.
Is he still
And-
cognitive?
You don't know. You just
Well, as he's crumbling, like, am I able to ask him one last question?
you can sure try.
I'm gonna look at him and say, "Was it all worth it?" As he crumbles.
You see Constantine look to you as he does, and at this point it's like almost half of his face is gone and the rest is starting to crumble. He looks to you and he goes, "Find me outside of the maze and then ask this question." And with that, he just vanishes into a pile of ash.
I was asking it for his benefit, not mine. All right.
Raytheon's gonna say, finally.
Finally, you stop fucking talking.
Can we take a short rest?
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys probably need that.
yeah. Malachi's just like, so how about we step out of here and then no, hold on, wrong accent. So how about we step out of here? So how about we step out of here and actually get a fucking break for once?
Sounds like a plan.
After you.
Oh yeah, for those who weren't here, Malachi Volkanov is the only member of the Volkanov family that you have met that isn't Russian. He is Irish.
They can trace their family line to Ireland.
Is the one hanging
Which
out?
doesn't. So, yeah, no. So, kind of backstory in that, because I did kind of gloss that over. Malachi Volkanov, yes, existed like 300 years before the present era, but also lived in Tiris instead of in the Outlands or within the Empire. And because of that, he doesn't have the normal accent that you've heard in most Volcanovs, and for some reason sounds Irish. Which is very weird whenever he talks in Ignan, because you can't tell if his Ignan is weird because of the fact that it's an older dialect, or it's because of his accent.
Yuri, whenever he talks to Malachi and Ignan, has to ask him to repeat himself like 3 times.
Yep. And then there's Frost, who's just like casually learning Ignan and is
Old Ignan too.
yeah, it's like a mix of old and Frost is like learning a mix of old and new Ignan, or old and present Ignan. So he's got the most butchered accent out of the three of them.
I just have this big old notebook in front of me. I'm just like, yes.
Because at that point you can't tell, because at that point for Frost, whenever he's practicing, you can't tell if he's practicing an older dialect, a present dialect, or if he's just really bad at pronouncing words.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so yeah, you all make your way out of the you make your way out of the chapel. And as soon as the last of you steps across the threshold, the entry or the exit way begins to kind of close in behind you until the point it is now just once again a ash-covered stone wall behind you. And after a little bit, you all decide to set up camp for a long-needed rest for some of you.
A long rest?
Long needed.
A long-needed rest. If you guys want it to be a long rest, I'm not going to stop you.
Do we need a long rest?
I mean, we just leveled up, so
yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess we'll just make it a short rest, but we won't take a short rest.
Yeah.
Off. We'll just role play that we all rested afterwards. You know, how about that?
So yeah, no, during this particular sort of rest moment, is there anything that anyone would like to do before we basically get back to the travel ahead?
Not really. Not for Frost.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at his patients, takes care of his patients, but that's it. Ensures that they're in good health.
Oh, Frost, go ahead and roll me a medicine check, just for kind of everyone across the board.
Oh, I almost got a nat 20. That is a 13.
Ooh.
Damn. Yeah, no, it's not the best work you've done, but it's not the worst. Like you've definitely seen first year medics do way worse, but you've also know you've done way better, so it's kind of a toss up for you at that point. But it's still to the point of being content.
Cool. That's it for me.
Have to fix that. All right. Anyone else?
Orikion wanted to do more with his little project. He wanted to see what else he had. Like, I know he's not going to be able to get it now, but while he's here, he can take a moment to organize and really get his thoughts together for his next steps on his thing.
There we go. I knew I was missing something. Sorry, I was tweaking a couple of the attributes for Yuri's armor because I realized there was something I missed.
You're good.
Right.
Pretty much, I'm just sorting out anything else that I need to grab for my project, and then tied to that, there's a question I wanted to ask you personally, DM, but I can do that after the session because.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, go ahead and give me. Hold on, let me pull up your. Yeah, no, go ahead and give me a Tinker's Tools check using your intelligence modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so yeah, you get your stuff and like getting sort of the last bit of things that you have together at this point, you're definitely fairly confident by that pretty quick here you are almost ready to kind of get a prototype mostly completed, but there's still probably a couple of tidbits that you're missing that you can't quite get out here.
Yeah, I figured. If you don't mind, at some point, it doesn't have to be now, but would you mind DMing me a list of the items that I may need to finish?
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
With that said, is there anything that anyone else would like to do while we're here?
Yuri will sit at the wherever the camp is set up, and he will just sort of journal the things he's seen and write down his sort of conflicted emotions on Constantine. After Constantine admitted like having something to do with starting the maze, but then also keeping his word and being truthful with his answers. So he's just kind of journaling.
Yeah. I'm gonna say go ahead and give me an insight check.
You got it. 12 total.
Yeah. So, despite the fact that Constantine like admitted to being an oath breaker, which from what you have variously heard, most of those people are just straight up evil as fuck. Constantine, however, looks like he was trying to find some sort of redemption after breaking his oath, and he just ended up getting stuck with the situation of being here within the maze to find some sort of redemption, which if he was the one that sort of started this whole can of worms that led to the Volkanov curse, part of you does feel like it is justified, but also the fact that it's a mix of feeling like his punishment for being here in the maze was justified, but also maybe not. It's kind of a hard point to kind of balance out 100% because Constantine is an ancestor you don't really know a lot of. Because for one, he seems like he comes from, if he definitely comes from a very long time ago, like longer than Malachi, who is literally right next to you. So, and like, because of the fact of the fall of the Empire, any records of anything at that point is very hard to kind of find and whatnot, unless people were very careful. But, I mean, the fact that you were told that the Volkanovs have hardly enough with members of Raytheon's family in that particular nation gives you the sense of
Is that just me?
but until then you're just kind of in this convoluted situation of do I blame
And no, it's not you. He does that every now and then.
Yeah, he's definitely just cutting in and out again.
Shame.
Gotta love tech issues.
Mm.
Well, it wouldn't be a swordsman stream without one.
Damn.
Yeah.
am I back?
There we are.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Howdy.
All right. Where did
And
I
he's
leave?
done again.
It's sort of a thing where
Off he goes. In the sunset.
sort of a,
Okay. Okay, what was the last thing you heard me say before I got cut off?
Which time?
the second time.
Sense.
Yeah. So I'd say that from everything you've seen with Constantine, you're like, because of the fact that he admitted that he was the one that started, might have been the one that started the whole Volkanov curse, you do kind of want to be pissed at him. But you don't really know a lot about him, so your emotions are kind of conflicted to, should I be pissed at Constantine because he's an asshole for starting this, or should I be pissed off at Rhea because she's the goddess that allowed this to happen?
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, true.
The one thing I will say that gives you some vote of curiosity is the fact that Malachi did mention that there were some members of your family that did live in Tyrus. So you're with that, you're kind of hoping that there may be some that still live there, so you can maybe get some better information before actually being pissed off at an ancestor that almost kicked your ass and then gave you a free set of armor.
Yeah. That more than made up for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else going to be doing anything else?
Nah.
Ross kind of did his thing, or no, Raytheon kind of did his thing. Yuri kind of did his thing. Everyone else, I guess, is just good.
Yeah, I'll save my thing
Yeah, I'm
for
all good.
when we're out of the maze.
Just saying.
Fair. We're definitely putting a couple of pins in what's happening after y'all get the fuck out of here. So after the very least a quick breather, you guys eventually pack up your stuff and continue to make your way through the rest of the maze. And at this point, you realize you're no longer in any sort of interim space in the maze. You are definitely in the plane of fire at this point. Like, as you are going, you see that, for one, the ash is kind of getting thicker in the areas. Like, you see the walls are get like thicker with ash and whatnot. You see the sky is now basically turned red, and you occasionally do hear sounds of various crackles of fire and sort of what sounds to be like pools of lava that seem to be either around the corner or literally on another side of a wall. And everywhere you touch is fucking hot. Like, for Yuri, you're a Genasi, which you're a little bit better at all this. But even you realize that, yeah, no, we're definitely not in the material plane anymore. Frost, your, for lack of better words, your ice coat that you've been occasionally applying to yourself is doing jack shit right now.
We step out into this space, and the cloud of steam that was billowing up, the light cloud of steam that was billowing off of me moments before, we step into this area, and a huge burst of steam explodes from me, and then it all dissipates.
Yeah, you're trying to exude more ice along your scales, but it is evaporating faster than it is touching your scales. And even then, it's not just evaporating to steam. Like, as soon as you coat yourself in ice, it is just gone.
I've just stopped wasting my time at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, no, as you continue, the maze does end up in like a variety of certain areas that do end up having various sort of like rivers of lava or pools of what looks to be like pools of molten earth just kind of hanging around and whatnot to where you have to maneuver yourselves around. I'm going to say in this particular instance, I would like everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw. Yuri, because you have fire resistance, I'm gonna say you can do this at advantage, and same will go for Malachi.
I'm immune to
Bye,
fire.
guys. I got a 7.
Nice try.
I also got
Real.
7.
I got a 25.
Nat 20.
Nice. You got a nat
God
1
damn.
too. That's hilarious. We talked about this last session. Your dice are fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dice definitely are.
The real curse is on the dice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no shit. Damn.
Every Volkanov just like does not
Oh,
gamble because
nice.
their dice is always cursed.
Oh.
So yeah, everyone except for Yuri and Arakion.
Okay,
Actually, wait, hold on. Malachi, did I do roll Malachi with advantage? I did not.
Yeah, you rolled for not for advantage.
Yeah.
He doesn't do much
Yeah, no.
advantage.
So everyone except for Arakion and Yuri, who both got the same fucking number, everyone gets hit with 1 point of exhaustion
Oh,
as
exhaustion.
the heat is just kind of getting to you.
Fire doesn't burn a dragon.
Yes, the fuck it does.
The heat
Well,
never...
apparently.
Pick condition. Exhaustion.
Yeah, exhaustion's rough.
Alright, Moira, I can set it for you. Oh yeah, Lou,
Yeah.
roll a con save for Nugget as well.
Oh, Nugget.
No.
No.
Oh wait, no,
Where's
wait, scratch it. I'm just looking at his stat block, and for some reason that I forgot, he has immunity to exhaustion, so never mind.
What? This horse can...
Oh yeah, he does.
He's the robot horse.
Doesn't
What do you
happen.
expect?
He's a robot horse.
He
can't be
voiced and
he's
can't
a
get
mech
exhausted.
horse.
I forget. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot too. I forgot too.
He's fucking
Uh,
fine.
Yeah, no, he's fine, but it's definitely getting a little hot riding Nugget every once in a bit. Like the closer you get to closer you guys have been getting to the plane of fire, you've been seeing that like Malachi and Yuri are basically glowing brighter and brighter, like for lack of better words, like magma glow sticks without a protection case. Nugget is also sort of heating up more to where the metal plates in him are sort of glowing a little bit, which, like, at first wasn't that bad, but, like, now that you're kind of more in the plane of fire, you're now realizing as you're kind of riding him, oh yeah, I think I'm getting a bit of a burn on my legs from just straddling my horse.
Oh god. Yeah, he's gonna like put his take his cloak off and like kind of put it between his legs because he's like ow, but he doesn't want to walk yet.
You've been wearing your cloak this whole time.
Yeah.
Icarus is a goth bitch.
And listen, he does it to cover up certain things.
Yeah.
AKA he's calm.
Yeah.
What does removing the cloak reveal then?
Let me get you a picture. He has a whole big skull thing that runs.
Yeah, he has like a tattoo scar thing.
Zuko who?
It looks like a tattoo, but it's actually just a thing.
Yeah, no, it's way worse than Zuko. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He also has a huge tattoo on his back that is covering up scars of something else.
Yeah. No, that like I said, Icarus is kind of a goth bitch.
He isn't kinda, he is.
Yeah, no, Icarus is the goth himbo of the group.
He that's what he looks like. He hasn't had character development yet, so it hasn't updated.
No, he has not really had character development.
So it hasn't updated, but it will one day.
One day, just not today, because Yuri's shit.
Yeah, so he has that over his shoulder.
Let's have a look. See then.
Yeah. Yeah, but then after what I'd say is like maybe a couple of days of walking around through the maze, and I'm not gonna have you roll con saves for each fucking day because I don't want to kill you yet. I said yet, so fuck. That's on recording now. Okay.
Well, cat's out of the bag. Everyone.
Yeah. So after a few days of walking around, you all are spending time in the camp for the night. And I'd say at this point it is close to maybe the middle of the quote-unquote night to sort of like early morning. Who would be taking watch at this point?
I will take first watch.
Okay, you'd be
Frost
taking a
will
watch in
take
this?
first watch.
Well,
I can take
yeah.
second.
Yeah, well, I mean, in this case, it'd be kind of close to third watch, so it'd be like the last one before you guys continue on. So, who out of y'all would be kind of taking that one?
I could.
I can.
All right. Icarus, roll me a perception check, would you?
Do I get an advantage because I have Nugget?
Yes.
Thank you.
God
This fucking
damn it.
horse, dude. Like,
Immune to exhaustion, gives him advantage on perception checks.
17.
17.
Oh.
All right, so you and Nugget are. I have to keep reminding myself of that. You and Nugget are standing watch for sort of the end of the night. It's been fairly boring, which is not that surprising. Like, you've maybe seen occasional ash husks, but you've kind of made sure they fuck off. Especially by occasionally maybe telling Nugget to eat one, maybe, I don't know, or stomp on one. Or just Nugget doing that anyway, because it's Nugget. This fucker has walked through walls and eaten glass. So.
He has. He does what he wants.
Yeah, this fucker does what he wants. So after, like, what seems to be like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes of it actually seeming to be fairly boring, you hear the sound of movement coming around, and
Movement? Is it a cow?
I'm not giving you a cow.
No. Well, that cow!
No. Just Icarus has an ensemble of spell tech animals.
You just want a spell tech farm, yeah.
Oh my god, no. Okay, no.
Spell tech
It
farm
is.
simulator.
My god. It is the sound of movement that sounds like it is coming towards you, and it doesn't seem like it's an ash husk. Like, for as long as you guys have been out here, you can tell what an ash husk sounds like when it's moving. This does not sound like this.
Right. Well, he's just gonna stand up and like. Oh wait, hold on a minute.
Wait, so is this during a different watch?
This is during the last watch.
Okay, cool.
You sort of stand
Wait,
up, kind of.
hang on. Hold on.
Oh no,
it's got a funny.
he's actually got a thing.
Yeah, I do actually have a thing.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I've actually given you a lot of things.
Okay, so I can either do that, or I can have that, or so there's got many things I can look at. I don't do that stuff just yet. I think I might do Divine Sense.
That sense. All right. Let me.
He does not know how he can. He does not know how he can do this, but he can, and
Yeah,
he's very
no.
confused about it. It just kind of happens, and he's like, "Hey, this is the thing I'm doing. What?" It's like, I didn't know I could do this.
So for one, you do get like light senses of undead around you, but that could just be from the ash husks because they do occasionally appear every once in a while. The sound in the direction that the sound of the feet are coming to, you aren't getting any sense of undead. And what's even weirder, as like you have this happen, you're not entirely sure what the fuck is happening. But also, you look back to your party, and for one, you're like, okay, how the fuck do I have this? What the fuck is happening?
How does it help? I can smell how people. I
Yeah,
can it's in my brain.
So you look towards you look towards your party and like everywhere around you. And like for one, the direction in the footsteps are coming from, you don't see anything marking it as undead. You look towards your party, and for one, for two things. For one, you see there is a very light sense of undead coming from Yuri, and an even heavier one coming from Malachi.
Oh, that's fun. That's not good.
Yeah. So your thoughts are like, oh, that's not good, and then you hear the footsteps again, not get any sense at the moment, and you're like, oh, that's not good.
It's very not good.
After a bit, you do get another ping that is of, for lack of better, dead. And as you do, you see a cloaked figure in what looks to be a tattered black cloak and hood, kind of sort of walking around.
It's dark, right?
As dark as the plane of fire can get. Like it's not like pitch dark. So like pitch dark. So you can actually see him, but the hood is kind of covering his face. And you see like he turns his head over to you. And you see he sort of for the most part, as he like came into your field of vision, he was like holding his hand towards the wall for the most part. But as he makes his way over towards you, he lets go of the wall and sort of is staggering, either from what you're not entirely sure, but it's very fucking weird. And as he does, he's holding his hands up and he's going, please have mercy on me. I come at no quarrel with you. And like as he's like maybe 20 feet away from you, he falls sort of flat on his face, possibly unconscious. You're not entirely sure.
Okay, Icarus is gonna like walk over and like with the like end of his scythe, just like try and lift up the thing and be like, he's trying to get a look at his face because he's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, you use your scythe to just kind of lift up the cloak. It is another Genasi. male.
Is he unconscious?
He is unconscious for the most part right now. But the one thing you do see is that in terms of age, he's kind of in the middle ground between Malachi, who's in his 30s, and Yuri, who's kind of more, 60s, 70s?
Yeah, 60s.
Yeah. I'm momentarily like blanked out. So he is unconscious?
He is unconscious.
Okay. I'm so sorry, Yuri, but he's gonna like roll the guy onto his side so he can like, because that's the thing you do when unconscious people so they can breathe, and then he's gonna send Nugget to go wake Yuri up.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, Yuri, you are having a somewhat decent-ish sleep, and like next thing you know, you're being jostled around and whatnot. You wake up, you see like Nugget's face like directly in front of yours, and is just using his hoof to just kind of push you. And then like as soon as you open your eyes, Nugget just kind of releases a sort of exhaust steam from his nostrils right in your face, just immediately startles you up to. It doesn't hurt or anything, it's just in your face and kind of smells bad.
What the fuck? Icarus,
Yeah, Nugget, like after you jostle up, you kind of, for one, you wake up so fast, you kind of bang your head against Nugget's head.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
Which thankfully doesn't dent anything, so like at first, like you hit your head, you're like, fuck my head. Then you realize it was Nugget and you're like, oh fuck Nugget, and then you're just like, oh thank God, Icarus isn't gonna kill me.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yes.
Oh fuck Nugget.
But also it's Nugget. He's gotta stir up some sort of shit that gets him in trouble somehow. Anyway, after you are mostly awake and probably half of the fucking group, Nugget just kind of turns over to where Icarus is off of the edge of camp, who for some reason is kneeling down again next to a unconscious Genasi.
Did you say half the group woke up?
I'd say from the exhaust.
From Yuri yelling.
From Yuri yelling and the exhaust expulsion, I'd say most of you would probably wake up from that at your own discretion. If you want to be the tired fuck that's still asleep, I'm not stopping you.
Yeah, Frost wakes up too.
Yeah. So all of you wake up to the sound of Nugget and Yuri. And Yuri, as you're looking at Nugget being like, what the fuck, man? Nugget just kind of turns his head over to where Icarus is on the edge of camp, and you all see that Icarus is kneeling down next to an unconscious Genasi.
Frost is gonna run over and investigate.
Icarus turning to Yuri, and he says, I think I found your dad. Is this your dad? Are you the father?
It's just some random dude. It's just some
random dude. He's like, hey, he's back with the milk.
Oh hell no!
He didn't say that.
He did. Okay, so Yuri, you.
I can say that I don't have it.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay, we're stepping away from that. Yuri, you get up.
Isn't that where it was going?
Yeah.
People who don't have a dad ever say shit like that.
Better. Also, look at me.
People who make depression jokes and all that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Unless you're a fucking asshole.
Fatherless behavior.
No. I'm no.
It's mostly used for
cancel Daniel.
Why me? You're the one who made the joke. All right.
Yeah, but I'm fatherless.
It's mostly used for black dads.
It's not. It's for everyone.
It really isn't, Angel.
Listen, as maybe it is in America, but Australia different. It's for
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Yeah.
it gets down in
Yeah.
Australia.
Okay. Anyway,
So
Yuri,
So
you
your
get
dad.
up. Yeah, Yuri, you get up. Like, actually get up. Look annoyed at Nugget, who just kind of stares at you with that sort of metallic deadpan stare that you've all grown to love. You just kind of shrug it and then look back like, we're not done, you asshole. Make your way over to Icarus and the unconscious Genasi. Malachi and like the rest of the party are right behind you. You take a look at this. You take a look at this guy. He is a male Genasi, looking to be about like 50 years of age. But his looking like fairly ragged for one. You see like his beard and hair have grown out like a lot. Beard probably close to, I'd say, kind of like what Jim Carrey had at one point in terms of like length. Jim Carrey had a beard once. Google it, I dare you.
I love how we're just assuming everyone knows what his beard was like.
I haven't the slightest clue.
Have none of you seen Jim Carrey with a beard?
No.
I think
Who's
I
Jim
have.
Carrey?
I've barely seen
Okay,
him.
don't be that guy, Angel. Alright. But you see his beard, long, ragged beard, hair, tattered, not tattered, but unkempt and ragged. First off, you assume that it's a Volkanov because Genasi in the Maze of Embers, that's about as good of an answer as you're going to get. But you do realize that there is something kind of familiar about this guy for sure that you can't quite place. And then as you do get flashes of memories from your past and from the first trial you had, and you do realize, albeit looking a little different considering this is now from a 70-year-old's perspective, this guy might actually be your dad.
Told ya.
And that's where we're going to leave tonight's episode.
Damn.
Oh,
Congratulations. We found Yuri's dad.
Let's go.
Excuse me. Icarus found Yuri's dad.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here, finally. I would go longer, but at this point, I don't trust my fucking hotspot anymore after dropping twice.
It was
You
more than
actually
twice.
dropped like 8 times.
Oh, fuck off, all of you.
Hey Dan.
We are. We're about to. We're all about to fuck off.
Hey Dan. Do we get a level up?
Please.
Okay, Carlo, just cut it. No.
Oh.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
All right, bye, stream.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.